Hello, welcome. Sorry for that noise. Welcome, family caregivers. Dr. Lana here. Family caregivers, it's winding down to the end of the year. Do you delegate? Have you been delegating? It's a busy, busy, busy time. You're going to do it all yourself? You sure? Can you? Should you? And if you want to, how can you? It's maybe the first time you're trying it out. So let's talk, shall we? Let's get into it. So, who am I? We have not met before. I'm sure we have. I am Dr. Lana, specialist gerontologist, and which means I discuss my studies are in all things aging. But on this channel right here is for you, dear family caregivers. Caregivers who are, I say, the backbone, the unsung heroes, the you name it. You guys, we caregivers need a medal. I just had a little stint of caregiving, and let me tell you, it ain't easy, but it's a joy. We've discussed that already, haven't we? It's a joy. It's not a burden, but we do have to ensure that our oxygen mask is on first. That's what this channel is all about from the very beginning. Oxygen mask on first. Now, I have a little app, and I decided let's just for curiosity's sake, how many days, how many hours, how many minutes do we have left in this year? And it's actually 9 days as we speak here now, at 10 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time, because I'm in Barbados. 9 days, 2 hours, 30 minutes, and 38 seconds, and counting down. What are you going to do with that time? How are you going to fulfill? What are you going to make the best use of this time? So, loving the chat, loving the feedback, love to hear your comments. Have you tried delegating before? What exactly is delegating, and how can you do it in a way that doesn't get everybody up in arms? That's true? Okay, because that can happen, right? So I, with my 20-year experience and passion for caregivers and putting on their oxygen mask first, and family caregivers who have all of this. We've talked about burnout. We've talked about a lot of things so far for this year. And as the year draws to a close, we want to use these 9 days effectively. It is December. It's the end of the year. It's time for reflection. It's also time where there are a lot of holidays, and whether you do celebrate holidays or not, you must admit sometimes it can get so overwhelming. There's more. This seems like more to do. Isn't there this frantic energy where everybody thinks, okay, I've got to get this done now, or medication, or this, or so and so is coming in, or family's coming in, or nobody's coming in, or the flight's delayed, or whatever else can go wrong is gonna go wrong at the worst possible time. Murphy's Law, right? In addition to that, though, when it comes to delegation, when it comes to asking for help, how are you on that? So we're at episode 7, and I hope that you have been progressing in self-care, taking care of yourself. Put it on your oxygen mask first. I seem to have lost my notes for right now. I haven't lost them. They're just someplace else. They know where they are, but I know I want to say. So here we go. Love the lives for this, for sure. So what is delegation? How are you going to be able to get it done? Should you delegate? How can you delegate? Okay. Give me 2 seconds. This was in front of me. Here we are. Right there. All my notes. End of the year. You got too much to do, too little time. Isn't that the thing? Too much to do, too little time. Right. Can you hear me well? I hope so. So let's deal with the right now. the 9 days and etc., all those hours. Let's deal with right now. Let's go present moment, shall we? Never mind the end of year. Families come in. They may not, if you don't celebrate the festivities of the end of the year. It still brings its own challenges. It brings its own additional things because places will be closed. You do have to get supplies. End of year is just like a finality of sorts because some are looking forward to new beginnings. Some are looking forward to just getting rid of the old and getting to start the new. For caregivers, though, for family caregivers, have you often found your roles remain the same? The role, let's always do this. The role of the family caregiver hasn't changed. The person's still there for you to take care of. The responsibilities are still there. Whether you're on holiday or you took a break or you're going to have a few days off, that doesn't change what your day to day activity is. And if family is there, that may actually be adding to the stress. And so for many caregivers, they're like, oh boy, everybody's here. And yet it's like, oh, you can still do that. You can still do that. Oh, by the way, we're here. So, you feel to cater to everybody. Or maybe no one's coming, but you want to do some Zoom time with everyone. You want to coordinate and you want to get everybody together because this is the end of the year and everybody wants to be together and so. Yeah? Because caregivers tend to have that all heart and that intention to get everyone sorted takes you away from the whole point of why you want to be empowered and not exhausted, because it takes you away from self-care. One aspect of self-care is delegation. So what does delegation mean? If you were to really take a dictionary definition of delegation, all it means, and I'm going to give you the scientific thing people think, it is simply, well, if you think of a delegate, they represent their country someplace else, right? So essentially, you're picking someone, or you might be the main caregiver, and you're given a measure of responsibility to someone, what you would normally do, to do something else, because you can't be in 5 or 6 or 7 different places at a time. How many? I'd love to clone myself. If you found a way, let me know, please. But you can't at the moment, as far as I'm aware. And so, with you just being you, how do you get that done? So, the why. Why do you need to do it? You're going to burn out. You can't do everything. You can't cook if you're cooking extra for family and do your normal responsibilities and finish off all your loose ends for the rest of the year if you're working and prepare the house and then go still do all the normal things of giving medication. Maybe you have to take care of your loved one when you're caring for. You have to take care of them physically. You have to maybe assist them to the bathroom. Maybe some may need to have their bath assisted. How you gonna get all that done? Everybody's in the house. How many people you have? Someone in the neighborhood, and trust and believe, as we say in my country, just trust and believe is a new saying, that there is somebody out there who wants to help. So the challenges, what are your blocks? So we've talked about the why you're gonna burn yourself out and be exhausted, and what's the point? What are the blocks? The blocks are mental most of the time, not physical, because there are people who want to help. There are people who will be willing to help. Family members who may actually be seeing you doing everything and figure out, oh, well, you don't need help because you never, and you're thinking, can't they see I'm busy? Can't they come and help? So there's this misunderstanding. So the block is nobody's asking, nobody's informing, everybody's clueless, and you're not getting any help. Does that make sense? Because help is out there, trust me. So those are the blocks. So let's free ourselves from those blocks. Don't let those blocks hold you back. I encourage you, let's change that thought. Let's change that conversation and change that narrative that only we can do it. Because we got a cape on. Well, I literally have a cape on front in front. But we got a cape on and we can do everything. Yeah. And then what happens? You're flabbergasted, you're flattened out, you can go no more, and you're gonna and then what? Can't help nobody. Can't help a soul. So, how? Think of it as a new habit you're going to develop. It's not just going to be for a short period of time. Think of it as you're widening out. Think of it as you're going to spread yourself. You're going to spread your chores thinner, so that you aren't spread as thin. How about that? Does that sound good? I think that sounds good. That was a pretty good definition. You are not going to be a burden to people who really want to help. If you've asked someone and it seemed as though they didn't help, and you just like, you know what, I'm never asking that person again. Well, that's at you. I mean, ask again. What can they say? No? All right. Somebody's going to say yes. So think of, you're not a burden. Think of the lack of the need to be a hero, to be the king, to be the super whatever, because that's going to burn you out. So you think of, I'm developing a new habit of self-care, and part of self-care means I'm going to shed some of this load, some of this burden, some of the load of caregiving, in a way that I can still manage to take care of my loved one, spouse, parent, relative, whoever, and share the actual blessing that comes from someone else who will feel empowered to help you to share. So how can you learn to delegate? How? We're getting into the how. So there's a wonderful website actually on family caregivers who need to delegate. And just a few points from them, but also a few points from what I've heard my clients say. And I will share an experience with one of my clients in my course, and I know she's not gonna mind, who says, you know what, I never asked, but I never realized there were so many people who wanted to help. So she decided, I said, well, go brave, call 3 people. And out of the top of her head, she could think of at least 3 people. Do you know how many she ended up finding? 5 or 6. Someone came to give the medication. Someone came to take the blood pressure. Someone came to assist with the collecting of, to stay with the her relative while she took a break. She got to read. Someone else came. What is someone else going to do? Oh yes, cook. Someone else came to cook. Someone, and this is regular stuff. She got to take a walk. She got to go places she'd never been. Go sit down outside. Even thinking of going to the beach. Well, in Barbados, obviously, not in the freezing cold. Please, okay. So open widen your minds and think, who can I ask? You know what? Mary has always been asking me, give her a call. Take Mary up on her offer. Have you ever considered that persons might be thinking that it might be a selfish act? Now, when that was told to me, I was like, selfish? What do you mean selfish? I'm doing everything, you're doing everything, trying to get everything done. Yeah, selfish. What do you think you are? You think you can do it all yourself? Even Jesus had 12 disciples. I mean, come on. 11 faithful, but the point is, he had help. So, and he was perfect. I ain't. So, what's the matter with asking for help, for getting somebody to take off the burden? don't go in the hero mentality of caregiving. I think is a tempting trap. It's also because I think maybe at times you've asked and you've gotten no. Oh yes, no, so many times. It's like, so can you help me with? No, I don't have the time right now. Sis, can you help me? No, I actually have to go somewhere else. Or brother, can you help me with? Because most of the time there's more than one person or a relative or a sibling that can help. Or sibling overseas. Can you send those? No, I wasn't thinking of. And you get tired of asking for the help, true? So you think, all right, this cape has to get a little tighter on. I gotta get a little few more powers, and I gotta do this myself. And they go on with the thought you can do it yourself. You go on with the thought you can do it yourself, and you can't. And then resentment builds up, and then frustration builds up, and then nobody wins. You seeing how it works? Okay. So what you gotta do first? Talk. If you can, schedule a family meeting. If that's not good, and even if family members overseas, arrange for a Zoom visit, arrange and say, look, you know what, I'm overwhelmed and I'd like to be reaching out for help. And you will be surprised at there's going to be people more than you think might come out to help. So have a meeting. Say, can I have a family meeting? It's not like, okay, you're going to pick up a list and say, well, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do that. No. That ain't going to work at all. Trust me. Everybody be out the door. What you can say is, I'm feeling a suggestion that was given is, I'm feeling really overwhelmed. And I know that you love mom, dad, brothers, we've all gone along. And I'd like to ask if you can help me to show them the list of responsibilities you have. Show the list, because many oftentimes people really don't know what you need, what you're doing on a daily basis. They have their own lives going on. You might be there with them. They're not there. So give them a chance. Give everybody a chance, a break. So say, well, have a meeting with the family. If that doesn't work, ask your doctor for advice. Ask a close friend, would she suggest? Ask the nurse, ask the therapist, ask the dentist, ask anybody that you know in the community, or a good friend that you can suggest, well, how do I get this meeting done? Or you meet with them, or you just give them an individual call and say, well, would you be able to, you pick each person, well, okay, so-and-so can do medicine, get the medicines for me. So-and-so might be able to do some shopping for me. So-and-so might be able to help me with the dishes or the laundry or cook or bring stuff. So think of what each person can do and recognize and be it really requires humility to recognize our own limitations in order to reach out for the help. So that's the first talk. Well, recognize limitations, take the cape off, talk, arrange a meeting, go with person's strengths and have them use their strengths, or have them suggest what they can do rather than telling them what you want them to do. Just let them know what lists you have, let them know your chores, your responsibilities, your overwhelm per se. Let's say you can't keep going on. It's only 9 days left. You can't continue. You must have some one day in these 9 days that you can take a little break if you haven't taken one before. True? Okay, please. Even if not relatives live from a distance, I do have a client, two clients whose family members have said what they do is they say, well, okay, we know you need such and such. We'll send the bulk stuff to you, the things that you need, maybe not medication, but maybe supplies like if person needs incontinence wear, or if you may need extra linen, or if you may need toweling, or some family members have help with bills. Just communicate what you need, and they help with that, and that way it takes some of the load off of you. You know you want to do it, but you can't do it by yourself. If there comes a point where you can't actually have someone to come in to parents or family and take over so that you can have a day, there are many places where respite care for maybe a day or so, just a day, during the day, you can take them to a safe place which knows how to take care of older persons or persons who have special needs. And they're just there, may offer 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 hour service while you can get things done and you know they're safe. Reach out, find where they are in your community. You will have a community person who can suggest the numbers that you can call. There's so many numbers, and I don't want to just pick one particular country, but in your country, select or find or ask who is there available that can be that you can get figure out where your relative can, either someone can come in that you trust from an organization, a neighbor you trust, who may say, well, look, I'm going to give you 2 hours. Or officially you may be able to take the person you're caring for, or they may come for them in the morning, come bring them back in the afternoon, and you've had a little bit of time to get what you had to get done for your oxygen mask first. So those are the 5. Talk, communicate, well, recognize your limitations, please. Take the cape off. Talk, have a meeting, have a gentle meeting where you let everyone know, where you let persons know what your challenges are. Let them know specifically. Communicate it, communicate it, communicate it. You're not going to know unless you tell them. And trust me, I took some humble pie the other day because it was like, you're not asking, how are we going to know? So, oh, right, yeah. You can't read my mind. People can't read your mind. And if they can, that'll be a problem. So, communicate. Divide up and think, well, maybe this person has abilities or has a talent that they can help me, or they may be the one to go to the market for me or go for the medication for me. Just ask what each person may be able to do. And then you say, well, okay, I can do such and such. I'll be the main caregiver still, but I do need a help with this and a this and a this. It is not impossible. There are many places which offer volunteer help. Not all are paid help because we know that it's financially a challenging time all over the world as well. But there are wonderful people who are volunteers in your neighborhood, whom you know, whom you trust, or someone who can recommend somebody else who can assist you. So, call to action. When are you going to delegate? Think of 3 or 4 people that you know, that you trust, that you like, that your relatives may know, who you feel safe with, either coming into the home or where you feel safe taking your relatives or them coming to spend time so that you can take a break. And how can you make this a habit? A habit. Remember, oxygen mask first. So, with that in mind, my call to action, my encouragement is we've got 9 days left in 2022. You got maybe 8 days starting tomorrow, let's say, maybe 7 days, a week. Take 66 days to really develop a habit, but you got to start sometime. So communicate, think of someone who can help, and please take the cape off. Superpowers are, yes, within your heart and soul, but physically, not possible. So let's deal with the right now. Let's deal with what we can do. Do it with all, continue to do your caregiving with all heart. Love you guys. It's a stressful, hectic time right now, but it can be made more easy. And you'll find family, friend, you make a bond forever because people will then realize that you then connect with people in a different way. And you know what? It makes you smile. It will make you happier because the load is off and you will be able to get more done for yourself. So I encourage you, please delegate, see what you can do, call a friend, call someone, get the suggestions, follow through on the suggestions, make it a habit, write a list, get it done, and just live. Sit, have a cup of tea, continue your life. I'm having a special 21 tip to thrive, one tip a day for caregivers and anyone else who wants to join in. And I'm doing that every day from December 21st, which was yesterday, well, my time, right until January 10th. So join me as I'm sending those through. Still remaining with the post on the deeper dive in the topics. And I want you to have a fantastic time. I want my wish, my desire is for you to be empowered. And all these are just to shed light on how you can become more empowered. So until next time, make your list, take the cape off, call a friend, communicate, talk, 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 talk. Let them know what you're going through. And I promise you, once you do that, you make that effort, make it a habit, stick to it, it's going to work out. Because people really are kind. They really do want to help you. There's help out there. Don't do it by yourself. Don't go this alone. You won't sustain it for long. Don't do it alone. Help is there. Until next time, and until tomorrow with the 21 tip number 3 we're at, take it easy. Email me whatever questions, leave your comments below. I'd love to hear you. I keep loving this community. All the blessing, all the love to you. Just keep doing it. All heart and soul. All heart. All heart. Take care. Bye-bye.